Well, hey, to all you cool cats and kittens, this is obviously your host, Mr. Hi. And don't worry, I am not trying to interrupt your show. This is just a teaser, a trailer, to talk about my show, The Anytime Show. Have you seen it yet? I hope so. If not, what are you waiting for? Go on and find my show, The Anytime Show with Mr. Hi. See you all soon. And subscribed. Hey, are you listening to me? You better have subscribed to my channel, youtube.com/Hollywood Insider TV. Yep.
Today's episode is titled, Director's Cuts and Alternate Endings. This article is written by Drew Alexander Ross. There are many reasons why a theatrical cut of a film can be vastly different from the original vision of the director. Sometimes it is the runtime going too long. Other times, the studio financing the film has creative differences with the director. This can be a good thing. There are many films where the director's cut completely changed the movie in a way that did not sit well with viewers. The opposite, where the director's cut gave the film a superior experience to the theatrical version, is what this article will focus on. A section for alternate endings will also be discussed, for the same reason. Some of these also have director's cuts, but are on the list for focus on their alternate endings.
No person that you or I has ever known is dead!
5 quality director's cuts. The Lord of the Rings. All 3 The Lord of the Rings films have extended editions. Peter Jackson's director's cuts for each film added scenes that weren't in the theatrical releases and extended upon some scenes that were. While the 3 theatrical releases are excellent films, picking up 17 Oscars between them, the extended editions give you a fuller experience of J.R.R. Tolkien's novels. If you love the story of Middle-earth, the additional 2+ hours of footage will be well worth the watch. Fanny and Alexander. Fanny and Alexander is a 1982 Ingmar Bergman film about the lives of 2 siblings and their family after their mother marries a prominent bishop following their father's death. Many issues arise in the family once the bishop enters their lives, and the bishop becomes abusive towards Alexander. The theatrical release was 188 minutes, and it received 4 Oscars, including Best Foreign Language Film. The extended version was released as a television miniseries that spanned 312 minutes and has subsequently been released as a complete film. This version is able to go into a great more detail and depth to the story of Fanny and Alexander. Kingdom of Heaven. Ridley Scott's Kingdom of Heaven had moderate success at the box office and mixed reviews from critics. The theatrical version had a runtime of 144 minutes. The director's cut had a runtime of 194 minutes. The depth and story of Eva Green's character, Sibylla, is completely left out of the theatrical version. Ridley Scott addresses this in an introduction on the director's cut. While the theatrical releases qualities of a good movie, something is lacking to make it a great film. The director's cut gives viewers that great film, and one of Ridley Scott's best movies to date. Blade Runner. On the fandom page of Blade Runner, 5 different versions of the film are listed, and the differences are discussed. Some of the differences between the cuts are narration, music, and the absence or inclusion of certain scenes. Ridley Scott approved the director's cut released in 1992, but the final cut released in 2007 is the only version that Scott had full control over. This is the version that we suggest you watch if you choose to check out Blade Runner. Das Boot. Das Boot is a film adapted by a German novel by Lothar-Günther. Wolfgang Petersen directed the film about a German U-boat crew as they partake in the Battle of the Atlantic. The theatrical version is 149 minutes, and the director's cut is 209 minutes. There was also a miniseries released by Petersen. The director's cut adds the character development seen in the miniseries to the action and drama of the theatrical release. The miniseries is 4 hours and 53 minutes and is a profound experience of cinema.
And sailing ships, skimming across the sea like a bird on the wing. I've sailed on a 3-masted schooner.
5 interesting alternate endings. I Am Legend. I Am Legend, starring Will Smith as Robert Neville, had mixed reviews but did well at the box office. The 2007 film was based on the 1954 Richard Matheson novel of the same name. The film is different than the book in many ways, one being that the monsters in the movie are vampires in the books, but an interesting change was how the film ended. Neither the theatrical nor the alternate ending is true to the book, but the alternate ending offers a different angle, closer to Robert Neville's realization in the novel. The Butterfly Effect. The Butterfly Effect did well at the box office and received positive reviews upon its release. The sci-fi drama was a foray into a more serious role for Ashton Kutcher, who is known for his comedic roles in shows like That 70s Show and movies like Dude, Where's My Car? The film had a happier ending theatrically than in its alternate ending. While intriguing, the alternate ending leaves the viewer with a darker experience and is included in the director's cut. First Blood. Before Sylvester Stallone's Rambo character became more of an action hero, his time in First Blood focused on the story of a Green Beret struggling to adapt to life after the Vietnam War. Rambo runs into conflict with a small-town police force and is forced by the British sheriff and his deputies to flee into the mountains, where he wages a one-man war against his pursuers. The alternate ending brings a sad and different conclusion to the story, but gives immense depth for the character struggles. Get Out. Jordan Peele's directorial debut was a huge hit both financially and critically. It claimed over $250 million at the box office and won Peele an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Daniel Kaluuya stars as Chris Washington. His character visits his girlfriend's parents, where his discomfort about his reception turns into a situation of nightmarish proportions. The alternate ending offers a much bleaker conclusion to the story and is a sad but essential reminder of current times.
I told you not to go in that house.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is based on the graphic novel series by Brian Lee O'Malley. In the film, we follow Scott, played by Michael Cera, as he fights Ramona Flowers', his love interest, 7 evil exes who try and stop Scott from dating her. The theatrical ending is another one that differs from the source material. An ending more in line with the graphic novels was shot and shown to test audiences, but the theatrical version was preferred. The alternate ending gives a different conclusion to the story and Scott Pilgrim's love life.
I guess.
Does that mean we can make out?
Sure.
Cool.
Conclusion. That wraps up our list of director's cuts and alternate endings. Besides Blade Runner, one thing that the director's cuts have in common is that their final runtimes are significantly longer than the theatrical versions. Overall, these versions represent a fuller and more complete version of the story the directors wanted to show. Each one is worth watching, and will give you a more in-depth experience of the story. The alternate endings tend to have darker conclusions to their stories, but they offer an interesting take on events. They are worth checking out to see how they change the tone and final resolution of the film. What are some of your favorite director's cuts and alternate endings of films?